What's going on, YouTubers? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller. Welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review. We're taste to AEW Dynamite results, presenting AEW Road Rager, with them being back on the road. The show from July 7th, 2021, and this was they were in Miami, Florida. Excuse me, at the James L. Knight Center, where you had the attendance of 3,500 AEW fans in attendance. Your commentators were Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and good old J.R. Jim Ross under the promotion of All Elite Wrestling. And folks, let me just say this. Boy, does it feel great for AEW to be back on the road. Now they're gonna be going back to Jacksonville, Florida, after they're done going on the road. Everything's to do this one event, and then that's it for the rest of the year. Which after I'm hearing about that, I'm saying myself, they just got out of Jacksonville, Florida, of Daly's place, and now they're gonna be going back to their weeks, in weeks, and I'm like, wow, they can't get enough of Daly's place, we haven't got enough of that, for 500 days, during the pandemic, right? But I digress. But hey, it's whatever though. But it's gonna be something very interesting to watch for that show. But we'll see how that turns out when we get to it. In the meantime, let me get to AEW Dynamite presents Road Rager, because there's a lot to talk about on this show here, folks. And I mean a lot. And I'll get to that when I get to it. And you'll be hearing nitpicking and all that, and and wherever have you. But other than that, it's gonna be nothing but positive coming out from me, obviously. So there you go. So without further ado, let's find out what was the opener of the show first, which I have a hunch of what it was, because they were back on the road and all that, and they really want to go all out with this, all out. And what it was Chris Jericho coming out, because he's gonna be on color commentator, on commentary, obviously, and he was. Wait, wasn't? Oh no, I'm sorry, that was the other show. That was when they were in Dave's place. The last time they were in Dave's place. My apologies. I thought I really think about Jericho being on commentary, on the other nights of Dynamite. So my apologies for that. I got that wrong. No, actually, the opener was Cody Rhodes coming out with Arn Anderson doing his own interesting, and QT Marshall with Aaron Solo and Nick Comoroto. He had the jobber entrance. He had the AEW Dark jobber entrance. And I'm like, but this is supposed to be a big feud going on in AEW between Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall, and this match called the South Beach Strap Match, and he gets the jobber entrance. Well, it does not talk like that he was going to lose, even though we all knew he was going to lose either way. But still, that was stupid on their part. So dumb, unbelievable. But what can you do, right? But hey, they're back on the road. They're in a different place, so it's whatever. So they haven't added, and at one point, QT Marshall refused to put the strap on, I guess. But Cody Rhodes, eventually they got the strap on him, because Cody Rhodes went after him at one point. So, they start fighting. Aaron Solo starts getting involved. Dustin Rhodes comes out to beat up on him as they fight through the crowd. Nick Morello follows along with them. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, what happened to Anthony Ogogo? Is he having visa issues or something like that? Does he have like a nagging injury? There's nothing about Nick Camara. Anthony Ogogo, of what happened with him. What's going on with his whereabouts? Nothing whatsoever about Anthony Ogogo. I don't know. I just don't know. No mention of him at all. It's like he's never existed. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully he comes back, because I like him. But yeah, but that gets rid of Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo for for that reason. With Dustin Rhodes coming out there, and the match continue. Um, QT Marshall was rammed into the ring post by Cody Rhodes, which QT Marshall starts bleeding, and this is a surprise here because usually Cody Rhodes always bleed in this match. Or not just retains this type of match, but Cody Rhodes always does the bleeding. Nope, it's this time with QT Marshall. And by the way, the match itself between Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall, 10 minutes and 40 seconds it lasted. And the match I thought was decent. Wasn't anything good, wasn't anything great, but I thought it was decent. The crowds were into it. Cody Rhodes, I bet the rules here is that you have to touch 4 corners to win the match in this South Beach strap match, and the using the strap for the as weapon and all that. Cody Rhodes, started hulking up. That's basically what it was, basically. Like he's that the adrenaline is kicking in. That his anger, his burst, of anger is gonna be coming on rain upon QT Marshall, and that's exactly what happened. And then he's gonna get ready to end the match, but then he see QT Marshall on his knees, and he's like, trying to get Cody Rhodes' attention, which he did. Gives him the middle finger. Basically, QT Marshall gives Cody Rhodes the middle finger. Then Cody Rhodes goes for not 1, not 2, but 3 crossroads, putting an exclamation point to take him out. And then he goes to hit the 4 corners, and that was it. And by the way, so obviously Cody Rhodes won, but it was also during the match too. By the way, when Nick Comoroto, Nick, Aaron Solo and Ghost Dust were gone, somewhere around there, the lights went out, and then it came back on. To me, I feel like it was like a botch because of what happened later on, which we'll get to that. So I just saw Usher Pinella because that was very odd and weird how that was done. But anyway, Cody Rhodes wins, and that's the end of the feud. Which, by the way, thank God, because this really didn't help out the factory at all. And on top of that, QT Marshall should not be one getting the push. That can't say he cannot. I'm not saying that he should not be on Dynamite, to help out these guys, like Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo and Anthony Ogogo. But this is all for QT Marshall, which it shouldn't be about that. It should be about the younger guys. And I'm not trying to say QT Marshall is old and past his prime. No one cares about QT Marshall. Obviously I do. I actually care, but no one is going to care about QT Marshall, unfortunately. So that's basically what I gotta say from that. So also let me get. I could believe that when I saw this too. Dan Lambert. Oh no. We'll get to that later, by the way. But I remember him. And if you don't, Google him. Just saying. Shout out to Ren, by the way. Good times, by the way. Good times for doing those Impact Wrestling reviews. I mean, live reactions, but same time, like it's almost kind of like reviewing it too. So, but you're also a UFC fighter, Amanda Nunes, the same Amanda Nunes who kicked the living hell out of Ronda Rousey's final fight, I should say, in UFC. Just saying. And she's a UFC champion, which rightfully deserved. And I think she's undefeated too, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. Just saying. But don't quote me on that. And another fighter, Jog Masvidal. I don't know. I really don't know. I honestly don't know who that is. So much for me now, knowing about UFCs, So can't remember what happened here. Oh yeah, I remember. Sean Spears was cutting a promo. And all of a sudden, Sammy Guevara, out of nowhere, whacks him with a steel chair. And says, "Now we're even, bitch." Something like that. Basically, it's this is far from over. So that's gonna be the program they're gonna be building for the future. Because Sammy Guevara got screwed over by Sean Spears during Sammy Guevara's match against MJF, which that match should have been saved for All Out instead of saving Chris Jericho and MJF for All Out instead. But instead, we're getting that instead of getting Sammy Guevara and MJF at All Out instead. Oh my god. Anyways, but yeah, but Sean Pierre was gonna promote basically about that whole thing, and then he got blindsided. But the way it was done, it was telegraphed that something was gonna happen. So the segment was worthless. Tony Schiavone, he interviews, or should I say, he introduced the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and Don Callis to a point where Don Callis takes the microphone away from Tony Schiavone, because that's the thing where it takes to interviewers. They don't interview anyone. They just get the microphone taken away from them, and they don't do the interview. They just stand there, look pretty. So Don Callis says it's time to get the crowds a history lesson about Kenny Omega in pro wrestling, and also you got the crowds chanting, "You got fired! You got fired!" And I'm like, wow, we got some fans, some AEW fans, which I'm assuming they're also Impact Wrestling fans too. We got fans that pay attention to Impact Wrestling about what happened with Don Callis, of him being, quote unquote, fired of his position of being the EP of Impact Wrestling. So obviously in storyline he was fired, but in reality he's no longer because I guess they removed him, or he I don't know, I don't remember the story of it, but the point is he's no longer the EP, along with to be any influence in Impact Wrestling anymore. Don Callis, I'll talk about. But yeah, it was nice that we had the crowds there to chant "You got fired," which means again they know, either they know what's going on with that story, or they also watch it too. So there you go. Just give me one more because I gotta take a turn here. Alright, this is just okay. I'll put this on private. And there we go. Okay. Now back to this. But Don Callis says, "Real men don't quit; they get fired." Whatever. But he runs down Kenny Omega what he's done in the ring over the last couple of months, talking about there's no one left for Kenny Omega to beat. Also, you got crowds chanting, "Cowboy shit, cowboy shit," and yeah, exactly. And he says that's that creates problem for the upcoming Fight for the Fallen with no challengers. Also, Dark Order comes out, and basically the same thing they did before. And Evil Uno says, he spent the last few minutes listening to Kenny Omega, with his weird uncle. Why are you ignoring the crowds? Why are you ignoring the number one rank AEW star? On the top rankings. And Kenny Omega says, Evil Uno seems like a smart guy. And he asked him a question about what is the capital of Taiwan, Thailand or Taiwan. So Thailand. Yeah, the capital of Thailand. Yeah. And then he gives him a low blow and said, I can't remember what Kenny Omega said after that. Oh yeah, Bangkok. And it was supposed to be funny, but it kind of was, because it's true. But yeah, but that was meant to basically I was meant to to give Evil Uno a low blow. So apparently Evil Uno is not smart that he think he is, because he got smart by Kenny Omega. So the Good Brothers came out and attacked the Dark Order, because after happened with Evil Uno, the Dark Order struck with the Kenny Omega, then the Good Brothers came in there, And also, the Hangman comes out for the save and takes out the Good Brothers. And he's going to give a buckshot lariat to Kenny Omega, only, to just look eyes, at each other, Omega and Page. Page also unclocks Anderson, who got involved, and then Kenny Omega immediately got his belt and ran out of there. And there you go. They're now they build up the program, when it comes to the Hangman versus Omega at All Out. And I'm assuming that's going to be the match at All Out for the AEW World Title, where Kenny Omega should lose the belt, by the way, to the Hangman. So there you go. That was a segment. Jim Ross had a sit-down interview with both Ethan Page and Darby Allin. Says that he finds it uneasy that they keep talking about each other, pertains to ending each other's careers. And then Ethan Page says that maybe Darby Allin deserves not having a career any longer. And Jim Ross wonders why is that. So the Darby Allin starts talking, saying that it took him only a year to get to a point where it took Ethan Page 12 years. And then it says that he dropped everything to get to AEW. When he went homeless in his car, he says Page was complacent, got married, didn't leave his home. And then Page says if it wasn't for him, Darby Allin will be in the gutter. I brought you in and up in pro wrestling, and it confirms that coffin match will take place when they get to Fyter Fest. And that was it. I love the attention. I love the sit down interview that Jim Ross does with two wrestlers, where he sits in the middle, and then you got the other two between Jim Ross, and they hash out their everything they can before their big match. So I love it. Love how it was done. We need to see more of this, especially pertains to Jim Ross doing this. So I loved it. Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager of the Inner Circle being accompanied by Conan, who's there again, as they go up against FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, and Wardlow being accompanied by Tully Blanchard, the Pinnacle. Match itself, it lasted, let me bring it up right now, 10 minutes it lasted. A 6-man tag team match. And it was decent. I'll just say that. It was decent. Didn't say it shouldn't have been on the card. But this is the feud. The Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. Which, again, this is all ass backwards how they did this. But it's whatever. But, but I thought it was decent. FTR and Wardlow wins. After the match, Conan comes in there and clocks Wardlow with a Lotus Sock, which Wardlow no-sold. And then Tully Blanchard with a chop block onto Conan, taking him down, basically chop block his leg. Inner Circle comes in and chases away the Pinnacle. And that was it. And not much to say about that. So the Good Brothers says they have a problem with Jon Moxley, especially Carl Anderson, saying that, bringing it up on that he, having the IWGP United States Championship and makes him sick, and wants to know if Moxley is ready to defend the title against him at Fyter Fest, and they're gonna do the best thing, their favorite thing, that they always love to do: beat up Jon Moxley. And that was it. So yeah, and that'll be we'll get to that when we get to the Fyter Fest part of it on Dynamite for this AEW review. MJF heads to the ring and gives the stipulations about Chris Jericho. If he wants to face MJF, he's got these stipulations lined up, right? So the two guys are taking a shot at each other as they sit down, with his table in the ring. And no one's is modifying it. No one is in charge of it. How how you usually have Tony Schiavone always involved in all this stuff. There's no one involved in this. Wow. But this was the segment, by the way, where a fan tried to get into in the ring to either go after MJF or maybe try to go after Chris Jericho. Who knows what was his intention? His intention was, but he got stopped by Justin Roberts. Um, and then you got other people stopping him too as well. And Jericho started laying him some punches in there, and then MJF said something about cut it off, cut it off. Basically the music of Jericho's music. Judas, Judas in my mind. But yeah, obviously those situations going on there, and it was during the show when we live. I didn't watch it live, but it was during on the on the live broadcast. It cut for I don't know for how long, but apparently it was cut when I watched it on Sling. It should show the whole thing. So I'm lucky I missed it live because otherwise I would never know what was going on with the segment. Before we got this fat bastard that he's called himself, and he's a creep to say the least too as well, because he's got a Riho picture. Basically he's on Twitter, and I think I may have blocked him, by the way. I may have blocked him. I could be wrong, but I think I blocked him before everything has and basically try to throw Jim Cornette's name in there, like Jim Cornette has something to do with that, which he had nothing to do with that, by the way, folks. Jim Cornette had nothing to do with that because he's in the business too. He's been in the business for a long time. Even he hated what that fat bastard did, because Jim Cornette is one of those type of professionals that dealt with this for years in pro wrestling. Where back then obviously those people will try to kill these heels at the time. We're creating real riots and all that, and really try to shoot at these performers or stab them or throw stuff at them and everything. Throw barriers at them, whatever. Nowadays, you don't get those anymore, which I'm glad because because back then those crowds were 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 something else. But I digress. But so they're having this whole thing where MJF says that Jericho has to win the matches against the Pinnacle to do one after another, and if he can do it, then he'll give a shot against MJF, which again I'm not a fan of this feud between Jericho and MJF anymore. I'm over it now. It doesn't interest me at all. But they're doing it anyway, so. But Jericho says that he's going to beat MJF and ruin his life, just like MJF tried to ruin him. He signs the contract, tosses it to MJF. And there's a lot of things I said here too as well. Like Jericho said something about doing his mom again, something like that. And some other things I said here too as well. Like that the fan that tried to get in there. Jericho says he should let that fat bastard get in there and be MJF or whatever. But yeah, there you go. So they had to do one thing before the it's official. Not just Jericho just signed the contract and all that. Basically, it's one of the Jericho 5 labors that MJF set for Jericho, in order for MJF to face Chris. For Jericho, it's a little Aaron actually. Chris Jericho to face MJF at All Out, like how he did with Cody Rhodes, and also how Jericho did with Jon Moxley, during their feud from last year. Before the pandemic happened. So the one thing they need to do now, otherwise it's not a deal, is for Jericho to shake MJF's hand, which he did, and all of a sudden MJF is getting ready to walk away. Jericho still hold on to him, and then gives him the juice effect, but it was one of the worst juice effect I ever saw. And MJF sold it, like he got killed. So there you go. As far as the segment, it was good, but minus the fat bastard fan trying to get in there, trying to ruin everything. So no, not much to say about it. The ending of it though wasn't that good. Obviously, because of the way I just already explained it. Um. Okay. Yeah. So Tony Schiavone interviews the AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Rebel Reba, which I want to say. And Britt Baker says that she wasn't happy about being forced to wrestle in the match with Vicky Guerrero and Nada Rose. Because Rebel ends up being back in crutches. And then Britt Baker blames Tony Khan for putting that them in the stipulation in the first place, all because Vicky Guerrero brought in Andrade El Idolo, and she hopes that Tony Khan enjoys his blood money. And then she referenced that maybe AEW Dynamite should run a show in Saudi Arabia next. Oh my god, I started laughing when she said that, and also take that WWE. And here's another thing too, by the way. WWE is going to be going back to Saudi Arabia this coming October. Shows you how much they care about the how fans don't appreciate Saudi Arabia and WWE working together. Because we're against that, but they're still gonna do it. And because of this pandemic, they're probably gonna extend a couple more, maybe 2 more years because of that, because the pandemic ruined everything, all their schedules. I guess that's another way to make money, or should I say, blood money. So, but whatever. But yeah, this was funny though, and yeah, and this is what I'm talking about with Britt Baker now. She's really improving like no other. And again, I was against her before, and here I am now. I'm rooting for her, and I remember that promo that she cut months ago. After her match against Thunder Rosa, where finally got me praising her to the fullest, where she's talking to all the fans that didn't believe her and all that, and I was one of them, making me eat my own words. So, and because of that, I bought not one, not two, but three Dr. Britt Baker DMD t-shirts. And I'm damn proud of it now. Damn proud of it. But yeah, this is gonna lead to a match between Nyla Rose and Britt Baker, which we'll get to that when we get to night 2 of that Fire Fest event. But you already know how my reaction was, because you had seen my live reaction of it. So, along with a few panels of the Asylum. So, Andrade El Idolo with Vicky Guerrero and some guy that Andrade El Idolo had with him. But he came out with a nice white suit. He had a scary looking skull mask in the way. And he tore off the jacket part and get the pants on. I'm assuming that's supposed to be his ring gear. And Andrade Idolo versus Matt Sydal happened, which the match lasted. Just give me one moment. Sorry about this, folks. About time. Sorry. 6 minutes it lasted. Um, Maybe to say this, Vicky Guerrero being there for Andrade El Idolo. I'm not into this. I am not into this with Vicky Guerrero being the consultant, or whatever it is, for Andrade El Idolo. Now the original plan retains to the Andrade El Idolo's big surprise, which they didn't go back to that because they didn't know what to do, because I think originally they was gonna have Trinidad to be there, but she decided to go to WWE, basically go back to WWE, and she's jobbing. She's been hypnotized by Alexa Bliss for Money in the Bank, looking like an idiot, and she lost a match against Toni Storm, which that's great for Toni Storm. So yeah, I'm glad that Selena Vega made a smart, right choice to go back to WWE, where she's getting jobbed. Good job, Selena Vega. Good job. You look like a winner. Um, we'll get to who ends up being the real winner. We'll get to that. Because I got a lot to say about that. But as far as the match between Andrade El Idolo and Matt Sydal, it was underwhelming. Wasn't bad. It was just underwhelming. If anyone could have had a great match with Matt Sydal, it should have been Andrade El Idolo, but for a reason, I didn't see it. So Matt Sydal was not the right opponent for Andrade El Idolo. Even though Matt Sydal is good too, but there was no chemistry there. I know they try, but I don't ever want to see this match ever again between Andrade El Idolo and Matt Sydal. I'll be shocked if they had Mike Sydal versus Andrade El Idolo, where they have chemistry. But I digress. Well, Andrade, he did a couple of things that he did. In the end, he won with the Hammerlock DDT, which it wasn't really a Hammerlock DDT. It was more like a Hammerlock face flatline or whatever it was. Because you got Ty Conti doing that move too, the DD tie. So I don't know if they wanted to have two moves, finishing moves doing at the same time in AEW. I don't know. It was weird that I was done too. And on top of that, Andrade Idolo didn't even do his spinning elbow that he does, which when we see Chris Jericho does, it's a juice effect. But when Andrade Idolo does it, it has more impact into it because he lays that shit in. If you never seen Andrade does that move where he does the kick where the opponent dodges, but then he flips it and then boom, elbows him in the face. It is sick. And he lays it in. Jericho, on the other hand, he barely lays that shit in. And on top of that, he's out of shape. So of course he's not gonna be able to to really lay it in. Basically, the opponent has to have to feed into it. So, but Andrade Idolo, he won the match, which obviously we all knew he was going to win. So, and that was it. And after the match, Andrade Idolo, he built up Matt Sydal a little bit more. Pertains to him celebrating, and that was it. So, video promo was about Matt Hardy and Christian Cage, which pertains to the match for Fyter Fest. Night 2. No, I'm sorry. Night 1. Basically, Matt Hardy says every time he does something, Christian Cage isn't far behind. Says that they have been agreement in Double or Nothing, the Battle Royale, but Christian Cage broke that promise. He announced that it'll be Matt Hardy and Christian Cage, at Fyter Fest Night 1, and Christian Cage accepts either to get on his level or get out of his way, and that was it. And that was basically it for that promo, video promo. I mean, it was well done and all that, but we'll get to how the match ends up being. Tony Schiavone, he's in the ring with Double A, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson, and Arn Anderson takes the microphone away from Tony Schiavone. Like, they even got Arn Anderson doing this shit. Like, what? Arn Anderson never did this to Tony Schiavone during the days of WCW, Jim Crockett's promotion, NWA, whatever you want to say. Like, what? Now they got Arn Anderson do this to him in AEW. It's like Tony Schiavone cannot get a break to interview anyone. Hell, Alex Marvez, no problem with him. He'll interview, no trouble at all. But Tony Schiavone, oh, forget about it. They took the microphone away from him, like he doesn't deserve it. But yeah, he says, that it's great to be back in Miami. Oh, or should I say, it's great to be in Miami. He said, we miss you guys and all that. Also, the lights goes out, and this is where the lights should have went out instead of the botch from earlier. Lights come back on, and it's the former Aleister Black, and I couldn't believe it. And he's wearing all black, obviously, but this is not Aleister Black, obviously. This is Tommy End. And Tommy End goes for the black mass, the spinning hook kick, and knocks out Arn Anderson, and he's sort of like, oh my god, especially when the microphone, flying out of his hand. And then you got Excalibur on commentary. That's Tommy End, but that's not Tommy End. That's Malachi Black. I'm like, oh my god, that was horrendous on Excalibur's part. Horrendous. The way he said it. It was just the way he said it and how he said it. That's Tommy End. I wrestled this guy back in wherever country they wrestle in. He said, and that's not Tommy End. That's Malachi Black. Oh my god. Excalibur, shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say. Just shut the fuck up. He ruined the moment. He ruined the moment when he said that. That's gotta be Kane. That's the vibe I got, by the way. But then Clay Rose comes out, and immediately people are like, "Oh no, Clay Rose is gonna beat Malachi Black in his debut AEW match." And I'm like, no, he's not. And if he does, I'm right there with you guys. I'll be fucking pissed too. But he is not. And we'll get to when the match is gonna happen too, by the way. Because it's gonna happen, by the way. So Clay Rose is looking upset. Malachi Black also. Oh, by the way, Malachi Black. Remember the whole thing with he did with him. With the whole thing with the missing eye, whatever. They did with the eye contact with Aleister Black. Basically like how Kane has been having over the years. He's doing it here too. Basically, he's keeping kayfabe alive. He's keeping continuity, which is great. I love it. And on top of that, with him having like some kind of snug or dark paint on him, whatever. Nice, I loved it. That's a nice touch there. I guess that's supposed to be Malachi Black, right? Excalibur. Oh my god. Anyways, so Clay Rose gets Black Mass 2 by Malachi Black. And that was it. Oh my god. Now, what happened here? How is it that he got away with 90 days no compete clause? I'll tell you why. And you already know about this, probably, because it's old news, right? But WWE made a slight error. They never upgraded his his contract when he got to the main roster, because the contract he had was to on the 30 days not compete clause that the NXT people would get if they would have been released. And they thought it was Buddy Murphy that they made the mistake with that, despite that they fired him too. And they called him up and said, we want to extend your 90 days no compete because we had a slight error of you having a 30 days no compete clause. Only to find out that it wasn't Buddy Murphy. It was actually Aleister Black. Whoops. Fucking idiots. Hey, also here, what shows you here is that Aleister Black, now going by Malachi Black, he made the right choice, because if he would went back to WWE, because WWE made a mistake of firing him in the first place, and I'm like, you think? Morons. Because if he would have went back, then he would have really been fucked with his whatever this whole Dark Father gimmick is gonna be. But I digress. But also, he's not a real winner here because he get to has creative control, freedom control of what he can do instead of being handcuffed and being shackled by WWE. Say, oh, you should do this, you should that. We want you to do this, we want you to do that, blah blah blah. No, he's got the freedom to do whatever he wants now with his gimmick, with his character, with him being a heel. That he wanted to be a heel all this time. Even when he wanted to be a heel when he got to NXT, but Triple H's like, nope, you're a babyface. Main roster, Paul Heyman, nope, you're a babyface. So, Malachi Black, he had no problem working for the for WWE as well, and he had no problem with what they were doing with him. But the problem they did with him is that they haven't sat home for 6 months, not doing anything with him. So they finally brought him back on to fire him, and now he's in the AEW, where he can do whatever the hell he wants, which is great, and he's allowed to be there instead of being sitting at home for 6 months. So Malachi Black was not interested in going back to WWE after they fired him, and here he is in AEW, a winner. Meanwhile, his wife, Selena Vega, back in when going back to WWE, at the whole thing with the whole what was it? The whole union thing, everything that she was trying to do, which change the third parties affiliates and whatnot. That all meant nothing at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, it's all about this to Selena Vega, money. I'm sorry, but money ain't gonna save your WWE career when you're jobbing and jobbing and jobbing and be hypnotized by going down to the ladder and keep going down the ladder while Alex Bliss keeps climbing up to the ladder to grab the briefcase. Boy, don't you look smart there, Selena Vega? She went to AEW, but no. Your dream was to be in the WWE. How's that working out for you? So they were with Ricochet. Ricochet, Rick bitch, Rick cry, Rick job. My dream is to go to WWE. And how's that working out for you, Ricochet? You got your moment of Money in the Bank, but guess what? You're right back where you are. He's changed his name to Rickaback, like Ryback. He's the new Ryback, Rickaback. I just made it up. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, I digress. But hey, Malachi Black is in AEW, and I think it's great. Ricky Starks. Oh yeah. I couldn't believe they did this. By the way, I could not believe they did this. So earlier on that day, Ricky Starks was talking trash in the ring he had securities with him, talking trash about Brian Cage. Team Taz comes out, and they were not happy about that. And then Ricky Starks talk about Brian Cage's wife, Melissa Santos, which I miss her, by the way. Brian Cage comes out, goes after Ricky Starks, but Ricky Starks bail. He takes out 3 securities, and 1 security ran to Brian Cage like he's going to attack him. Like, so you're a security, you're not supposed to attack him. Like, and then as he's running after him, Brian Cage throws him out of the ring. Like, that was so stupid. Like, what was the point of all this? This was so stupid at so many levels. And this reminds me of the whole thing when they built up Wardlow. With him going to a club or whatever with his girl, which it was Andrade, by the way. And you had all these thugs coming out of nowhere. One by one, they're going after Wardlow instead of going after him at the same time. And then you had this one guy who's a black guy, by the way. He goes to run to Wardlow, and then goes for trying to go for Superman punch or something like that, and then Wardlow beats him up, or whatever. That's what it reminds me of. This is a prime example of what it reminds me of that whole thing. So stupid. I thought it was stupid when they did with Wardlow, and I thought it was stupid how they did with Brian Cage here. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander in the mixed tag team match in 8 minutes and 25 seconds, defeating the Blade and the Bunny. Match to me wasn't anything special. Moving on. We got Jungle Boy, who when he defeated, basically when they show Jungle Boy defeated Jack Evans to get his 50th win in AEW, because that's so very important to for Jungle Boy for that accomplishment and for that achievement, that he got a trophy for it, and he's posing with it and all that, and taking pictures of it and all that. This was from earlier on that day, and I said to myself, who cares? That's basically this is his compensation prize for not winning the AEW World Title. They're just making stuff up as they go. 50th win in AEW, because it's Jungle Boy. What's next for the women's? One of them's going to get a 50th win as well, and get a trophy too, and also for the tag team wrestlers too. Whoever's going to get the 50th win, and they get trophies. Is that what we're doing now? We're getting out trophies for participating or getting 50 wins. Who gives a fuck? Where was Goldberg's trophy of getting 50 wins in WCW? Where was Asuka's trophy of getting 50 wins in WWE? Fuck off with that shit. No one gives a fuck about that. And there's nothing against Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy has nothing to do with this. Jungle Boy did nothing wrong here. This is AEW. This is their dumb shits. Come up with this stupid shit. Oh, let me get to my favorite part here, which I never thought it would be my favorite part, but it is my favorite part. Besides Britt Baker's on that promo about Dynamite being doing the show at Saudi Arabia, taking shots at WWE, which take that WWE. Tony Schiavone, he interviews Dan Lambert alongside with Amanda Nunes and this other guy, I can't remember his name. I mean, his name is there, but I'm not going to pronounce it. I'm not even going to bother. And then Dan Lambert takes the microphone away from Tony Schiavone and lets himself. Now we got a non-AW personnel taking the microphone away from Tony Schiavone too. And then he starts going off. He says some things, and then he starts going over across the barricade. I said, wait a minute. So we have a fat bastard fan, crossing the barricade to try to get in the ring, and then you got Dan Lambert doing that too. Like I said to myself, the something wrong was his picture. Like, how did they not think of this? How the hell did they not think of this? I understand, the whole thing with that fat bastard fan, was out of nowhere. It was unexpected. But you could have done something better than having Dan Lambert, just going through the barricade, the guardrail, I should say, whatever. And he hits in the ring. And so he's I guess he's invited he's an invited guest and all that, right? But I don't care if you are invited. You're not allowed to do that. But he gets in the ring and he says, so things about, for example, AEW sucks. And when he said AEW sucks, I couldn't hold my laughter. I was laughing out loud like crazy. Like, oh my god. And I think to myself, he's playing the role of Jim Cornette. That was what I was thinking of when I saw this. Because I still listen to Jim Cornette. We're listening to him talking about AEW. Yeah, sometimes it's entertaining. We're listening to him talking about this stuff that drives him nuts. Even though he'll still watch it. But this is what it is. This is basically what it is. Dan Lambert is playing Jim Cornette, except he doesn't have the fancy suit, the glasses, and a tennis racket. So Dan Lambert talks about how if he wanted to watch some real wrestling, he pop in some 70s and 80s wrestling and watch them tear up in the ring. He thinks that wrestling has gone down since the 90s. Like, oh, don't you dare go there. That's because that was WWF's bullshits. And you know, and you could also say those there too, where they're both too, with the Dungeon of Doom, think of Poker Doom, and whatever have you. It's whoever. But Lead the Night is out of this. That was my childhood. So fuck off with that. And he says AW is unwatchable. Just like how Jim Cornette would say it too. That's exactly how Jim Cornette would say it. If any of y'all watch Jim Cornette's reviews on AW, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. This is the stuff that Jim Cornette would say. He said that Tony Khan told him wrestling is doing the right way and they have a mix of everything. Lambert says he should have trusted his instinct, though, and before he can talk more trash about AEW and everything. Also, and Lance Archer comes out. He punches him a little bit, and then gets him into the blackout. Basically, Dan Lambert took a bump. I mean, he took a bump before back in Impact Wrestling, but from Lance Archer, my God. And that was it. And Lance Archer leaves the ring. And that was it. Oh my God, this segment. This made me laugh so hard. Because they're basically was mocking Jim Cornette. That's basically what this was. And they amused of all people Dan Lambert to do that. Oh man. So funny. Alright folks, so the next time I review All Elite Wrestling, it's gonna be about Fyter Fest, night 1 and 2. And the one from that one, I'm gonna talk about Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks for the FTW Championship title that Brian Cage is going to defend. Ethan Page in the main event against Darby Allin in the coffin match. Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage, rehashing their rivalries from WWE, whichever I want to say. Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki. The Hangman Adam Page speaks about wanting to get a title shot for the AEW World title against Kenny Omega. And finally, Jon Moxley defends the IWGP United States Championship title against the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. And I'll be on the next AEW review whenever I can to do that, or just do Fyter Fest on Dynamite for night 1. Now let's move on to the main event. Oh, by the way, I don't remember if I mentioned it. The mixed tag match that Orange Cassidy, Chris Stanley versus the Blade and the Bunny was 8 minutes and 25 seconds. So in case I didn't mention it, I'll mention it right now. So, but this main event match was a street fight for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. 14 minutes and 10 seconds lasted with the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, tag team champions, with Brandon Cutler at ringside, versus Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo. Young Bucks outfits were shortcut jeans. I don't remember what shirt they were wearing. I'm assuming it was the Elite shirt, whatever. I don't remember. I don't care. They were just stuff that they wear. It's questionable. And I don't know what to think about what they wear anymore. And I don't even know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know anymore what the Young Bucks anymore. I think I'm over the Young Bucks now. And it's a shame. A damn shame. But this was a street fight. And they used some weapons I can't remember off the bat, other than maybe steel chairs, tables. Brandon Cullen probably got involved at some points. Don't tax, by the way. Don't tax were used. We're just to put it in the mouth of a Kingston, I think it was, and then double scoop kick him, and then throwing thumb taxes to the eyes of Penta Azir whatever. Other stuff too as well with reviews. The Good Brothers coming in there, only for the Elite Killer, I should say, Cricket Kazarian coming in for the and all. But and also Don Callis on the commentary, by the way. I forgot to mention that, by the way, with Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and Excalibur. So so the Street Fight was it was good. I'll say that was good. But I'm over the Young Bucks now. I am so done with the Young Bucks. And in the end, Young Bucks wins. I expect them to lose. So, there you go. And that will do it for Oh yeah, I gotta see if there was anything else happening before I end this. Oh no, no, that's it. That was it. Young Bucks retains, and there you go. And that'll conclude your All Elite Wrestling review for AEW Dynamite presenting Road Rager. And now it's time for my highlights for Road Rager on Dynamite. Swerve of the Night has to go with Dan Lambert pertains to him taking the microphone away from Tony Schiavone and doing what he did, that whole thing, cause yeah. Shock of the Night, Tommy N, Malachi Black, whatever you want to say. Thanks a lot, Excalibur. Moron. But whatever. Gotta get people what they want. But anyway, Swerve of the Night there. Moment of the Night. What could be moment of the night? Moment of the night. Okay. I know it's gonna be just moment of the night, but I gotta make this also funny moment of the night. And no, not Dan Lambert saying AW sucks. Dr. Britt Baker DMD, where it his whole, maybe Dynamite should do a show in Saudi Arabia. There you go. That's a moment of the night there for me. In fact, no. In fact, that will not be a moment of the night. I'll tell you what Britt Baker's thing is going to be for. But moment of the night, I don't know really, folks. Other than what? Alan Page, Frank and Omega, the stare down. Maybe that could be moment of the night. There you go. I'll go for that. Promo of the night. That goes to Dr. Britt Baker DMD. There you go. Video promo of the night. I'm gonna get to Matt Hardy and Christian Cage because that was the only thing that was building up of their feud, that. So, whatever. By the way, I don't remember if this was a show where Miro said something. Unless I skipped over it. Or this was on Fyter Fest 1. It may have happened at Fyter Fest 1. Yeah, it probably was. But we'll see. We'll see on the next review of that. Anyways. Segment of the night will have to be I'll say this, Dan Lambert. That was segment of the night there. With him cutting that promo in the ring. The whole thing of AEW sucks and everything. But the Swerve of the Night thing with Dan Lambert was him taking the microphone away from Strange Giovanni because I was not expecting that. Entrance of the night. If I had to go with entrance of the night, wasn't this up? Oh yeah, it was. Penta El Zio Miedo and Eddie Kingston. I'll give it to them because Penta El Zio Miedo with the Joker outfit. So, not much for Eddie Kingston's entrance other than what maybe Krause was training for and all that. So whatever. But yeah, I'll go for that though. Entrance of the night. I'm not going for Young Bucks. That. I didn't like the outfit. Performance of the night. If I gotta go for performance of the night. Let me look back at this. Just bear with me, folks. Match of the night to me. No, I'm sorry. Not match of the night. Performance of the night. I'm about to say performance of the night. I'm not to that yet. Performance of the night. I'm gonna go to Andrade El Idolo. There you go. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm just tired. But moving the night. The move of the night for me will be Andrade's, double moonsault from the top rope as Master rolls out of the way as he lands on, as Andrade lands on his feet and then goes for the moonsault again. That's always been impressive, so I'm gonna go with that. Finish of the night, I'm not gonna go with Andrade Idol's move, finisher move. I mean it looked good, but that's the I want to go with. Instead, I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes for a chance to doing his triple crossroads. So that's gonna be finish of the night. Brutal match of the night will be the street fight for the AEW World Tag Team titles, but in a good way, despite Young Bucks outfits. Fight. No, I'm sorry, not. That's another thing. That's another thing. Show Stealer. I had to say the street fight, the street fight tag team match, because none of the other matches already stand out. Your chance to be Show Stealer. So, but match of the night to me will be Clay Rose and QT Marshall. I thought that was a good match. Good to decent match. So. And there you go. And my overall strength for the show for AEW Road Rager, I'm gonna go with a 7.5 out of 10. Good show. Especially, in fact, no. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. Namely because the debut of Malachi Black. So, but there you go. That will do it for AEW Dynamite Road Rager. The show from, again, July 7th, I believe it was. Yeah, July 7th, 2021. And I'm done. No plugs or any kind whatsoever other than stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and what's going on in the world, and everything else that I always say too as well. I am out here. I'm wasting too much time. So, yo, take care. Ta-ta for now. I'm out here for It's Not Your Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. I'll see you all next time for these catching up of all Elite Wrestling reviews. Take care.